Hi, this is Catherine from In the Pink Designs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and my project today is this box that can hold some pop rocks. In here I have pop rocks. I got this from the dollar spot at Target, and it's a Halloween, Happy Halloween play pack. I just pushed down the top and the bottom to fit it in there. And it has a book and 2 crayons. And this was also from Target. This is a little matchbook of little stickers in there. That's in there also. And you can also stick a piece of candy or 2 in there. Okay. So it'll fit a bunch of things. Oh, one last thing I forgot. And I got these from Target also. These weren't in the dollar spot. These were in the Halloween section. And they're little bubbles. But it was $1 for 8 of them also. So, and everything was $1 that I just showed you, the 3 things. So I have the bubbles, pop rocks, the play pack, the stickers, and the candy bar in there, which is pretty good. Alright, so let's get it going here. Okie dokie. I started with a piece of pumpkin pie that is 9.5 by 7 3/4. Okay. Directions. Alrighty. I scored on the 9.5 inch side first, and we're going to score it at 1/2, 4, 4.5, 5, 8.5, and 9. Okay, and then I turned it to the 7.5 inch side. I'm sorry, 7 3/4 inch side. And I scored it at 1 and at 6. Okie dokie. Now we're going to fold and burnish everything but this is, all right, let's start on the top and the bottom. We'll burnish. Okay, now on the long side, we're not going to do this first one. Okay, so it's going to be 1 inch on this one instead of there's an extra one in between that panel here. The 2 little panels that are next to the big panel. That one has a score down it, but don't burnish it yet. And the same with this one that's on the other side of the big panel. Just do the ones on the outside. Because it's the accordion part, so it's going to fold the other way. So for now, we'll just leave it be. Okie dokie. Now, I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Alright, now this is, there we go, I have to flip it this way, so, alright, I did it the opposite way, but it's still good. Alright, so, this is going to be the flap we keep, so we're going to get rid of this piece and all of this, okay? And on the bottom, we're just going to get rid of this piece, alright? Okie dokie. So we're going to start, flip it over. I guess not. I shouldn't do it like that. We're going to start with the one skinny rectangle on the left-hand side. And we're going to get rid of the smallest piece of the rectangle that's on the bottom and wedge it a little bit. Okay? And then go all the way up. So we're going to flip it over. This is where we just cut. And we're going to get rid of this piece next to what is going to be our flap. And we're just going to get rid of that. And we're going to get rid of everything else over here on the top. Okay. That's that. Okay, so now we've finished the top, and now the bottom, we're just going to cut the 2 long rectangles straight, and then the piece that has the score down the middle, it looks like 2 skinny rectangles standing up, we're just going to wedge that out. Okay, so this has the 2 skinny rectangles there. We're just going to treat this as one flap, even though it has a line down it, and we're going to wedge a bit out of each side. Okay. And while we have it open, we're going to use our Detail Trio punch, and we're going to round the corners of the flap. Alrighty. Okay. And now what we can do is fold over those other, but we're going to be folding them in the opposite direction. Okay. So everything folded this way, we want to fold that back that way. And it's okay that the flaps are bent a little. It really won't matter too much. Okay. Now we need our tear and tape, and we need the long skinny rectangle. We're going to put our tear and tape on it. Okay, and flip that over, and then attach the other side. Okay, so now you have your box, and it's going to be able to pinch closed like this. Alrighty. Okay, so this is going to be our front, so we want this piece to go down last. Alright, so that's the piece we're going to put our tear and tape on. And I think I'm just going to put 2 pieces just in case. Okay, so we're going to fold in the skinny flaps and the back, and then try to square it up as much as you can and pull up the front part. All right. Now we have the box done. Okay, so we need 2 pieces of the Designer Series paper. This is the Subtles, which is the Highland Heather piece, and we have one that is 3 3/8 by 4 7/8, and one that is 3 3/8 by 1 3/8. Okay, and this is the one that we're going to want to round both corners on. I'm going to round the corners of the long edge. Alrighty. Okay, we're going to put it on here and on here. So I'm going to get my seal. Okay, peeps. I made an error. I did say 4.5 in my head, and that was the right one. So all I have to do, it's supposed to be 9.5 by 7.5, not 7 3/4. 1/2, because I landed up with this flap too big and I didn't understand it. So it's really not too hard. I will put the correct measurements on my blog. I'm sorry about this. And I just have to snatch off a 1/4 inch on here so that my DSP, because if I made it longer, this isn't going to look right on there. So I'm just going to take a 1/4 inch off of this. Is that right? I think that's a 1/4 inch. Yes. All right, that should work. And I'm going to have to round it again. so all of the scoring is the same. It's just 9.5 by 7.5. All right. Now we have the same size DSP that is 3 3/8 by 1 3/8, and this should fit. Yes. Perfect. Okay, so that fits nicely. And now we can put our other piece of DSP on the bottom. You could put more of this. You can also put some of this on the back, but I don't have that much purple paper until October 1st when I do my order, so I didn't want to use that. Sorry about that. I promise I'm going to make an order on October 1st, and I'll have all these things. All right. So now, another thing that will be in my order is some black ribbon. I even used up my old chiffon, so this is just some from my stash. And what I want you to do is for the closure, we're going to take a hole punch and just go right in the middle, sideways, and a little less than halfway up, okay? And you make a little hole there. And then I'm going to take a pencil, and I'm going to really mark it well through it, so that when I open it up, I can see exactly where I need to punch, and it won't have to be estimated. Okay, so now I took a piece that was about, I think 18 inches about. And I folded it in half, piece of ribbon. This will be so beautiful with the black sparkly ribbon. And then I made a knot at the top end where the bend is. All right, and then I'm going to cut these at a sharp angle. Oh, it is pretty pointy there. And then just fold it over. I'm going to go inside the box. I did one of these like 2 months ago, I think, but it was a different dimension box. But I did a ribbon like this, okay? And then just gently pull it to the end of the ribbon, right? And we're going to put in our play pack and our pop rocks and our bubbles, our stickers, and a piece of candy. All right, all in there. See, and it all fits in there. All right, and now I'm going to take this, and you might have to sharpen it up again. So it already squeezed through once. And I'm going to put it through this. Now you could just do a clip on the top if you don't want to go through this, doing this. Or you could just close it and wrap it around the front and tie a bow. All right, this was way too much ribbon, I think, but that's okay. All right, and then we're just going to tie a bow here. Yeah, it was way too much ribbon. All righty. Okay. Alrighty. And that's our bow. And our box is completely finished. Now we're going to work on the cool embellishment. Okay. And I took, out of the two largest, they're the largest ones, I believe, layering circle dies. I got a scalloped in the basic black and a Daffodil Delight in the circle. Okay, and I stamped this image from Everything Essential right on here. And I stamped it before the video because I really wanted it to dry because we're going to color in. Okay, and I stamped this one from Gnome for the holidays on here, so this would dry also. All right, and we're going to do some coloring. Now I'm going to use, let's do the pumpkin pie first. I'm going to use pumpkin pie. I'm going to use the dark first, and I'm going to do a stripy hat. And I'm going to just put some dark from either side of him, of his hat. Just leave a little space in the middle on every other stripe on this hat. And this one is hard to do, so we'll just leave that. Okay, and then I'm going to take the light pumpkin pie and then just try to pull a little bit of color from each side into the middle. And it just gives it a little bit of a highlight, blends it together. Okay, and I also I'm going to do his socks orange, or her. All right, now we need Highland Heather, and I used the dark Highland Heather to do his entire nightshirt, or I don't want to call it a dress. I don't know what they call on gnomes. All right, and just down at his pants. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing here with some Highland Heather. And then I took the light and just blended it together. Now, if you have the light petal pink, that's what you're going to use for his nose and his little bit of his face that shows, and his hands. And then I took the light Rococo rose and I just put a little bit on top of his nose, and then I blended it back. Okay, and then I used some smoky slate. I used the skinny pointy end, and I'm just going to put a little bit right on the lines so it looks like he has some depth right where his beard pieces meet. And I'm going to put a little extra right there because it's a really fat area of hair. Okay. All right, and now we're going to fussy cut, which I will speed through so that you don't have to watch me do this two videos in a row. Oh, and I'm going to cut off this entire ornament and the mistletoe. Okie dokie. All right, and I also cut out from the trio of tags, I cut out the jack-o'-lantern. I'm just going to poke out his eyes. And I have a scrap of, Daffodil Delight, and I'm just going to cut it kind of in a circle to make it so that it looks like there's a light shining through. Let's see if that's good. Perfect. Okay. And I'll flip this over and put just a little bit of glue on him to finger. Alrighty. And then I'm just going to put this on top of that. Okay, and he can just dry a minute. Alrighty, now I'm gonna take a pencil and I'm gonna position him where I'm gonna want him. Alrighty, and I had him hanging down just a little bit. Alrighty, and I want to put just a dot where I'm gonna have the little spider that is from Festive Corners stamp set. Sorry. Okay, and I'm gonna make this house straight so that I can kind of try to get this little guy straight too. Okay. All right, and then I'm gonna take my gnome, put some glue on him. And just not on his feet, because his feet are going to hang off a little bit. And I'm just going to place him so that his hat touches right at the edge where the spider is. Okay. Then I'm going to put glue on the back of this whole circle. Oops, and put it on top of the basic black scallop circle. I got a little bit of glue on here that I don't like, so I'm going to try to get that off of there. Ooh, I should just leave it be, because I'm going to rip his hat. There we go. Okay, I'll leave it for now. All right, and then I need the little jack-o'-lantern that I'm going to put in his hand instead of the ornament. It just sticks right on there. Good. All right, and I need some dark pumpkin pie, and I'm going to color in the banner. I'm going to use the pointy edge. And maybe now I'll switch to the other edge. And this is why I stamped it beforehand, because I really didn't want all the words to smear up if I didn't wait long enough. I still kind of try to go a little bit lightly on the words. Okay. All right. And then I put some dimensionals on the back, which I'm down to the end, so I'm just going to, oh, I have, let's see, one, no, I'm out. Two, three. I'm going to put this right on our box. Like that. And then I colored a couple of basic rhinestones with the Highland Heather, which it's a little bit hard to see it, but I know they're purple. And on there. And this one I have higher. There's good. Okay. And there we have our box that has a gusseted, I guess, side, you'd call it. Okay, if you would like to buy any of these supplies, you can chat with me at the address at the top of the screen, which is katherineteeman.stampinup.net. And if you like what you see, please click the like button and subscribe. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Bye.